What does it take for one man to conquer a continent? And what fatal flaws ensure his empire crumbles to dust? This isn't just a story of battles and glory. This is the historical saga of Napoleon Bonaparte. His ascent was born from the chaos of the French Revolution. As old monarchies crumbled, talent could now trump title. Napoleon, an artillery officer from Corsica, seized this moment. His genius was first undeniable in the Italian campaigns, where he motivated a starving army to victory, promising them the most fertile plains on earth. He delivered. France had found a hero, but Napoleon wanted more than glory, he wanted control. In 1799, he masterminded the coup of 18 Brumaire, overthrowing the weak government and naming himself first consul. The Republic was, for all intents and purposes, dead. As leader, he didn't just conquer, he built. His legacy, the Napoleonic Code, standardized French law, enshrining equality before the law and property rights, reforms that would ripple across Europe. Then came the epic victories that made him master of the continent. Austerlitz, where he humbled the combined might of Austria and Russia. Jena, where he shattered the Prussian war machine, and Tilsit in 1807, where he dictated terms to a defeated Tsar. He stood at his zenith, Emperor of the French, King of Italy, the undisputed ruler of mainland Europe. But empires rot from the inside. His first critical error was the continental system, a failed embargo meant to cripple British trade. It instead strangled the economies of his own allies and vassal states, breeding deep-seated resentment. Then came the Spanish ulcer. By placing his brother on the Spanish throne, he ignited a brutal nationalist guerrilla war that bled his grand army dry for 6 long years, proving his power had limits. But the true turning point was the sin of all conquerors: overreach. In 1812, he marched his Grande Armée of 600,000 men into Russia. The result was not a battle, but an annihilation. The Russians retreated, burning their own land. Moscow was a hollow, burning prize, and the winter retreat that followed was one of the greatest military disasters in history. Seeing him weakened, all of Europe rose against him. At the Battle of Nations in Leipzig in 1813, he was decisively defeated. Forced to abdicate, he was exiled to the tiny island of Elba. But in a final, dramatic twist, he escaped. For 100 days, he reclaimed his throne, leading to the final, legendary confrontation at a Belgian village called Waterloo. There, the combined forces of Wellington and Blücher delivered the final, crushing blow. His last gamble had failed. His final years were spent in exile on the remote island of St. Helena, a prisoner of the very world he once dominated. He died there in 1821, a ghost haunting his own past. So, history leaves us with a complex legacy. He was a military genius, a modernizing lawgiver, and a tyrant who plunged Europe into years of war. But here is the question for you. Given his profound impact on law, warfare, and the very map of Europe, do we remember Napoleon Bonaparte primarily as a visionary nation builder, or as a brilliant but ultimately destructive conqueror? Let us know your verdict in the comments below.